Hi, welcome back to Silver Bunny Stitches. Hi to anybody new and hello to anybody who's returning. I apologise again for my lengthy-ish absence. I keep saying I'll be back next month and then I'm just not. Basically, I was going to do a video at the end of the summer holidays and then my 7-year-old got really super grumpy. So it wasn't like a great time for me to be videoing. Then he went back to school and we all came down with COVID, which it wasn't too bad. Could have been a lot worse. My son had a headache and sort of had a temperature for like 2 nights and then he was done. That was his COVID. I felt like I had a mild cold for about a week. But my poor husband got it quite badly. He had fevers, shivering, joints really sore. So yeah, he had it quite bad, bless him. But I say my son's fine, but it's just the illness that just won't go away. We just kind of feel ick still. Now, a month later, we're both kind of not quite back to normal. So there has been quite a bit of stitching though, because there's been quite a lot of sitting around not doing much. And also I went on a finishing spree. I hate finishing stuff off, but one day I just said to myself, right, go get supplies, come back and have like a finish-a-thon. So I finished loads and loads of stuff. So I'm going to show them first and then we'll go on to kind of what I've been working on. They're all stuff that you will have seen before. Some of them are from like ages ago, so I can't necessarily remember who the designer is off the top of my head. But if you want to know any of them, just let me know in the comments below and I'll find out who they are. So, our local Hobbycraft had a sale on box frames, so I got a couple. I think I'm going to do something with this frame, but I don't know what. But it's my Ghosts and Pumpkins. So that's all finished off. And then finish number 2, sorry, I've got dog fluff in my eyes, was from Autumn Stitchery. And this one, I just got like mount board and just wrapped fabric around. It's Pick Your Poison. That one's all finished. And I did a couple of little cushions as well. This is my little Halloweeny pin cushion. Little bats around and just finished off with some black thread. The only thing that I wish I'd done is that I didn't necessarily have the, I don't know what you can call it, the bit that you have to close up after you've done a cushion, because you've got to do it like right sides together and then turn it inside out. Is I wish that I'd done this bit at the bottom, but I didn't think about it at the time. But I'm happy with how he's turned out. He looks good. And then at the same time, because I was doing one mini cushion, I had enough stuffing left to do a second mini cushion. So this is my Christmas Carol one. It says, "I will honour Christmas in my heart and try to keep it all the year." And I'm super pleased with this one because I managed to get the trees on the back to be the right way round to the right at the top. Again, I didn't think about the placing of the hole I was putting in, so this one's come out on the top, and I say I wish it had been on the bottom, but something for me to learn for next time. So yes. Then I had another box frame, so I put my moon, it's very glary, it's probably the best, Moonstruck by Little Mill Hill Kit. So all I did was cut out some black paper to put behind it so that the kind of the lighter cardboard didn't show through the holes, and then I put some like cobweb around sort of the inside of it and then popped it in, and that I'm super pleased with. a lot of my finishes are Halloween because I opened my drawer. I couldn't even fit any more things in my drawer, so I came to the conclusion you're going to have to finish some things off. This one I fully finished. It's my Halloween Quaker. So there is a little spider up here that's on. And I say again, it's just mount board with some cobweb on. I don't even know how many that is now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So number 7 was my Mickey Mouse Halloween piece from the Disney Cross Stitch magazine, which I did last year. And my son has stolen this for his bedroom. And again, it's just on mount board. Stuck down properly at the back. There we go. And what I did was just popped it on this little easel that I got from my local Hobbycraft. So again, I think it was in like the wedding section. But yeah, I saw that and thought, oh, that'll work. Got a fully finished in hoop, little dinosaur. I finished off that one last stitch that I had to do. The back looks awful, but it's the back. No one's going to see it. There we go. Finished off my lovely gnomes by Autumn Lane Stitchery. Just put it again onto mount board and then stuck it into this little tray that I got from somewhere. Oddly, it did have Christmas gnomes on the actual tray itself. But yeah, I put them in. I finished off, I got beads from a local sort of like, it almost exclusively sells buttons. It's called Duttons for Buttons in York. And I got my little red buttons to finish off there. I've forgotten what this company's called and I should know it. Something embroidery. Modern Folk Embroidery? Oh, I just made that up. Anyway, again, this is just finished on mount board with some fabric. And it's pinned in to keep it still, but this keeps falling off because I think it's a bit too heavy, so I'm going to have to get some better glue to glue it on. Yep, so there's that one, and then there is everything. Oh, yeah, that's probably the best we're going to get. There's too many windows in this room. Everything is better with a little magic by Stitch Rovia. I absolutely love this one. I really enjoyed stitching on it. I think it's come out super nice. So those are the finishes that I did on my finishathon. I'm now going to put all of those away and get out all of my actual stitching because it isn't room on the table for everything. So I will see you in a few minutes, but for you it'll be like no doubt. Okay, so the eagle-eyed amongst you will notice that I'm wearing different clothes now because it's actually 2 days later that I'm getting back on to film this. And I also found another fully finished item. This was from edition of Just Cross Stitch magazine, and I've just framed it in a hoop and it lives up there on my dresser. I also had a finish since I saw you last, which was from another issue of Just Cross Stitch magazine, and it's by Autumn Lane Stitchery. I think it's called Current Mood. And last time you saw it, I'd done Happy and Afraid and half of Cat, and then I finished Cat off and I did Angry. He's really cute, but he wasn't part of my finishing spree that I went on, but hopefully for next year. My dogs are just having a little commotion, so I will be right back. And I will be right back. It won't be like 2 days. And I'm back. And this is the cause of the commotion. It's an antler. And I have multiple ones, but dogs being dogs, they both want the same one. And then there's one that has to sit and cry because the other one's got it. And then yeah, it's a whole big drama. So anyway, so that was current mood, and then we'll go on to my whips, and we'll start with my new start, which is another autumn lane stitchery design. I decided to jump on board with the Dark Queen of the Earth Sal. She's on count 16 Ada that I dyed myself, and I'm pretty much up to date. I don't have a picture of what this one looks like because it's a mystery, but this is as far as we've got. So you can see there are some holes where there are going to be some beads, and it was my first time using Petite Treasure braid, which is a bit eye-wateringly expensive, but yeah, I decided to treat myself. There you go, she looks stunning. The next part comes out at the beginning of November, so she's kind of just away until that time now. That's that one. Then we have my Supernatural one, which I think I just started last time. Let's get my needle minder out of the way. So, yeah, I don't have a picture of what this one will look like when it's finished either, because it's, again, it's a mystery cell. So last time you saw it, I'd literally done this little tiny corner here. And now I finished the siren, I finished the zombie, I finished the djinn, and I finished the banshee. Just at the moment completing the werewolf. I changed the skin tone for the djinn because all the djinns that I've come across and I've been reading things, lived in sort of like hot, dry desert climates, and I was like, well, she's not going to be like pasty skinned like the siren who lives in like the bottom of the sea. So yeah, so I think they look absolutely fantastic. In fact, the djinn is my favourite one so far, but I've got a long way to go. There's absolutely no chance of me catching up with this Sal, so I'm just kind of like taking my time and enjoying it. So that was Supernatural. It's on count 16 Ada that I've again dyed myself. I'm not sure where the project bag for that one's gone, so just stick it over there for now. Right, next is my map of the UK. Do I have a picture of this one? I don't know. I'll try and insert a picture here of what it'll look like when it's finished. It's the second time I've stitched it, and it's still fun. This time I sort of made the mistake of putting on Whip Go, I put as one goal, do the entirety of Scotland. It was so much work, so I'm not going to do that again, because it made me not enjoy the project as much, because I felt really stressed about getting it done on time. But basically, the whole of mainland Scotland is done. So I need to do the Orkneys still, which are up here. And I'll have to pull this one back out again soon, and then I'm going to go to Northern Ireland and do that. So that's that one. I think last time you saw it, I'd just done one like tiny section near Glasgow. I think you'd seen this one last time. Hold on, I do have a cover picture for this, but I think it's in the other room. We're back. So this is Midnight Way by the Flosstube Pumpkin Stitchery. I'm doing it on a fabric by Chromatic Alchemy, which is a UK company, and it's super soft. Very, very soft, Ada. So that's how far I got. I think last time I showed it to you, I think I just got part of this done, but now I've done Bats and Cats, which is the pet shop, and I finished off the broomstick shop, and then next I'm going to go down and do all the bottom along here. But I'm off on holiday on Saturday. We're going to the Canary Islands, so I'm going to take this with me because I find it quite difficult to stitch on in the UK at the moment because it's quite like glum and dark and gloomy out. So I think it'd be a lot easier to see in the bright sunlight, so that's going to come with me. It's very exciting choosing the projects that you're going to take with you on holiday. My husband was excitedly telling me like what shoes he was going to bring and why he was bringing them, and I was like, that's me with cross stitch. I've got to bring this one because of this, and I'll need to bring this one in case of this. So this is my Winter Snowfall by Shannon Christie Designs. I should have the cover photo somewhere. Ah yes, here it is. And this one I've done quite a bit on actually since you saw it last time you saw it. I was just on a Count 16 grey aid of this one. Last time I saw it, I just had this strip here done, and then now I've done everything like between these points here. Oh, it's just so much fabric. So this was a Whitgo goal, which was do 1,000 stitches. So I just did a few. I did that and probably more on it. Yes, so I'll put this one away. I've got a lot of paper because I'm working off a paper pattern for this one. Oh, and put my needle minder in. That's that on. I've got my Body Threads Kings and Queens pattern. This is what it'll look like when it's finished. It is almost finished. I worked on this one quite a bit since you saw it last. I'll show you the whole thing to start off with. So we are literally nearly there. I think I've got about 4 left, but we've got a problem. We have a problem up here because William I, his arm's wrong. It should be like another few stitches out here, and then he's going to be stabbing William II in the head. My husband was like, well, can you not leave it? And I'm like, yeah, but William I didn't kill William II. Kind of anything, it works the other way around. It would just like knock off the rest of the succession. So we're going to have to unpick William and move him along a bit. Either that or I have to unpick William II because he's where the problem is. He's too far over. But I've already unpicked William I once because I realised that he wasn't right. But I thought the problem was with William I and not William II. So I'm leaving that till the end, and then I'm going to do some counting and see what I need to do. Because I can, yeah, if that's where that one finishes, I can move him this way about 4 or 5 stitches without it looking weird. Anyway, so that was what I did to the top of the design. And then at the bottom, I think I've done Charles, James and William, and then I did George III, which I finished him the other night, and I've just started on George IV. And I think I'd already got these 3 in, but I definitely didn't have Elizabeth in. And obviously everybody will know now that we lost the Queen in September, and I wouldn't say that I'm a particular like monarchist or you know, I like the Queen, but I'm not kind of like particularly patriotic in that way. But I was actually a lot more affected than I thought I would be. I was really quite upset when she passed away, especially when we watched the funeral. It was very moving. Yeah, so I stitched on her while we watched the funeral, because I was like, there's nothing better to help me work through my feelings than cross stitch. I have been in contact with Bothy Threads, and here it just says Kings and Queens of England from 1060. Yeah, Kings and Queens of England since 1066. They're actually designing Charles to go on here. So even if I get this like completely finished in the next couple of months, I'm going to hold fire and I'm not going to do the Kings and Queens since 1066. I'm going to do Charles when you release him, and then I'll do something at the bottom to say about Kings and Queens since 1066. So I feel kind of like I'm nearing the end with this project, and it's been going on for about 7 years with a restart. So I will be very glad to see the back of it. That's not... I enjoy working on it, but when you've been working on something for 7 years, that really shouldn't take 7 years. Right, I've got a few things left. I've got my Haid, which I've worked on a little bit since you saw it last. Oh, it's Mini Equus. It's on, it's 18 or 20, I can't remember which one I went for. Heaven Earth Design Mini Equus. And somebody pointed out it's very purple, a purple horse, which is, I was expecting it to be like browny black or coloured horse, but purple's my favourite colour, so I've heard that you should trust the design and that it will come out looking great. But even if it is a purple horse, purple's my favourite colour, so I'm not gonna worry too much. I think last time I'd got in like a tiny little bit of colour here, and since then I've done this bit, and I start at the bottom again, working my way up. So yeah, I need to get this one back out again and put some more in. I'm getting bored of the beige. I don't think full coverage like this is my like jam, but yeah, it's gonna be lovely when it's finished. Oh, I'm getting stuck. These magnets are great, but I keep taking them off and then they stick to everything. I've got about a billion hoops here as well. I'm not supposed to leave things on hoops in bags, but I've been super bad recently about doing it. Right, I've worked quite a bit on my, is it Primitive Hair? Yeah, Primitive Hair Pride and Prejudice by Bicentenary Sampler. And I'm kind of like, I'm not doing either one, I'm kind of like mixing it up a little bit. But that looks mainly like this, but on this fabric. So, I think that is what it's looking like now. So, I had to do some unpicking here because I'd written struggled but without a U, so everything else below it then didn't line up. I don't know why I didn't notice it at the time when I was doing it, but when I came back to doing it I was like, that's not right. So I've put this in, and the E, I've filled in some of the tree here. The main bulk that I've done has been in the banner. So I think I was up to about here with the white, and I've brought it all the way along to here, done all the black, starting more white over here. And I was super, super happy because I'm working on even weave for this one. It's called Tempest, I think, by Chromatic Alchemy. And I don't often use even weave. And I was quite worried about it not matching up. But I did count it correctly and it all matched, so it was all good. So I'm not quite at the point where I'm going to exclusively stitch on this to finish it. But I think when I get quite a chunk more of this white on, I probably will. I feel this one's been in my rotation for quite a long time, and it needs to be finished. Because I have other Pride and Prejudice pieces that I want to do, but I've said to myself I have to finish this first before you're allowed to do them. Very strict with myself, lots of rules. So I've got two more. One is Enchantress by Julie Jones. Right, I don't think I've got a cover picture. No, so I will try and insert one here. Last time you saw this, I'd just done a tiny bit of a pumpkin, but then it came up on a Whipco goal. So finished off both the pumpkins and started in on her dress. She's like the first fancy lady that I was doing. I don't know if she classes as a fancy lady, but for me she does. So yeah, she's looking good. The fabric is by KLT Charting. I want to say it was called Resolution, but I might be making that up. But I'm super happy with it. I've not felt much, I thought I'd have this one out loads with it being Halloween, but I've been very drawn towards the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery and then the Supernatural cell. And then the last whip that I've worked on is my Birds to the Bows, which has had loads of progress on this one. It came up as a Whipco goal, and there's what it looks like now. Last time I had this bit done and this bird's head. I've done loads more of it now. You can see I'm unpicking here because I made a mistake in the border and it doesn't match up at the bottom. It's supposed to look like that and it doesn't, so I have to pull all this out. So it's now in time out for a little bit. But I was really enjoying it. It was going to come on holiday with me, but it's not now that I've noticed that the border's wrong. Yeah, so I think I'm at about 65%. I feel like I should be more than 65% with the amount that I've done, but Pattern Keeper doesn't lie. I'm guessing it's just all the border that I need to do. So those are my whips that I've worked on. I've worked on pretty much everything. When you've only got 10 projects and you're working on them for about 2.5 months, you tend to touch most things. I do have a piece of haul, which I got for my birthday, which is a Dimensions gift. My husband bought it for me, from my son. We used to have a peacock. His name was technically Jeremy, but we didn't know, so we called him Pocock. And he used to come into our garden, but eventually he died of old age, which was quite sad because it was beautiful to see him come into our garden. And we had rabbits at that point, and he didn't have a peahen, so he would like put his tail up and he would flirt with the rabbits, and he would do the same with his own reflection in the car that he could see. So yeah, I've got that one. I don't know when I'll start it. But yeah, so that is everything I've got to show for this time. When will I be back? Who knows? I'd like to say next month, but we'll see. But I will be back. So everybody take care, and I will speak to you at some point. Bye.